Alright guys, we're doing a knife review today, and we're going to do it on this, my BK2, and why you should not buy one. A lot of people review this knife on YouTube. You can get on there and you'll see tons of stuff, lots of people praising it and saying how great it is and blah blah blah. It's a very decent knife, I think, for the price. Let's open this thing up. See, it's got some use on it. It is 1095 high carbon steel, just like most good survival knives. 1/4 of an inch thick, flat pommel on it, blah blah blah. Interchangeable handles. You can take these off, and they sell micarta handles also, which you could do if you wanted to. I think they're $40. That's insane, I think, personally. Anyway, not to get off topic. I do like Becker knives. I do like the stuff that they make. I think for the price, it's okay. This knife runs around, I got this one for like $65, and I've seen it as much as like $95. So it can fluctuate in there. I would average it out at around like $75, $80 for this knife. It's okay. I mean, it's decent, but there's a lot of little things to it that just I'm not real crazy about. Like, for instance, this blade. Where's my ruler? Right here. It's short. I mean, it's not, extremely short. It is almost 5 inches of cutting length, but it feels like a short, chubby knife to me. It doesn't feel like a working knife, like a knife you're gonna, I don't know. Maybe it's just me personally, but it doesn't. I don't think it has the length you would need to do certain chores. It does a lot of things really well, but there's some things that I want it to do and not have to worry about. Like, for instance, if you're going to baton small logs or whatever, you might be fine with this. This could probably do most of that work. But if you want to, get through bigger ones, you're going to need a bigger blade. You're going to need something. Just imagine that log being right there. And that's like prime cutting spot right there. But you're not going to have anything to hit because this blade's too short. Right there, you're going to have that little, just tiny edge sticking out. Yeah, now there's some guys, they argue you could cut it piece by piece on the edges until it's small enough that you could baton through the rest of it. But I want to get it one and done, I'm not trying to sit in the woods and fiddle around. I mean, this is just a clone M-Tech knife. But as an example, I mean, the blade's so much longer. You can tell right there. Let's see. We're looking at 6.5 inches of cutting length on that. So if you have to baton something out in the woods, a longer knife would be ideal. And ideally you would like to have an axe or something like that, but if you're stuck out there and all you have is a knife, this thing would be great for chopping. I mean, you could run a piece of paracord through the lanyard hole and hold on to this, and it chops like a dream all day long. It's great. That's actually what I did most of this use with, was just chopping it and testing it out. But when I was batoning with it, I just was really not that impressed, honestly. I mean, good knife, good quality, great brand. On the knife, honestly. And then the sheath, let's get into that. Now, before I start bashing this sheath, they do make another sheath. I think it's $25 extra. $25 extra on top of this. So let's do the math here. Let's say that you bought an expensive one. You paid 80. Well, we'll go 85. We won't even say 95. We'll give it $10. Say 85 bucks. So you paid 85 bucks, and say you wanted to upgrade it some more. So you went and you got some micarta handle scales. That puts it as $40 a pop, $45 a pop. That brings it up to $125. We'll say $125. And then you get the $20 sheath on top of that, or $25 sheath. So $125, $130, $150. It's $150 to get this knife ready to use. Like, these are perfectly acceptable handle scales. They work. They're slick. They're plastic-ish feeling, and you can tell by the way they look. They're slick. They're not real grippy or real, they don't want to bite. Which may not be an issue because you have these two, I don't even know what they're called, but just these two choke points to stop your hand from slipping around a lot. But in general, I feel like they're kind of slippy. So if you wanted to get the micarta and a sheath, the nylon sheath they have, you'd be spending upwards of $150 almost, This sheath, I hate this sheath. It's just, it looks cool. I don't know this is not micarta. It's some sort of injected molded plastic. Whatever. Look at this. This is the retention strap right here. That's all there is to it. This is the only thing holding it on there. And I guarantee you, after some use, this is going to tear right off. Just clean off. And when it hooks into your belt, even when the knife is completely in there, and you got the retention strap on, and your knife is in there. Look at how big that hole is. This thing is flopping around on your leg when you're walking through the woods. It's just not comfortable. And yes, you could run paracord through here and tie it onto your leg, but it's just so much work for for what you're getting. You're spending $100 and whatever dollars on this, and you have to do all that work just to, I think it's ridiculous. And then once you take the strap off to take the knife out, this thing flops right over. It's stupid. Now my other qualm with this thing is the plastic sheath itself dulls the knife. Every time you pull it out, you're dulling your knife. Check this out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say that this whole knife, or this whole sheath is made of the same thing. So I'm gonna do it on the back side here just to kind of, I don't want to mess up the sheath because I'm probably gonna return this knife. But anyway, this is just a stupid knife I have at my house. It's sharp. Okay, now we're gonna do this. Let's see. Alright, so you just saw that. It's struggling now. I mean, it still cuts, but after, you know, some use and pulling this thing in and out, it totally dulls your knife. The sheath itself, I don't understand it. Like, you saw the clean, you can see the difference in the cuts. Look closely. Before, that was before. That's after. It's after. Right there. It just gets messy, you know? Like, it doesn't cut as well now, and that should not happen. If you have a sheath and you spend $150 on a knife, it's not supposed to dull the blade every time you use it. It's just ridiculous. I just think it's stupid. And like I said, they do sell another one, but you also have to pay 20 bucks for that. So I don't know. I would rethink it. Honestly, the way I think I'm going to go in the direction, for $150, you can get yourself an ESEE 5, which is very similar as far as length is considered. That's another thing you have to deal with. You're going to have to find your way around it. I personally, if I want a beefy, bulky knife, that's where I'm going to go. For the 1/4 inch steel, I'm going to get an ESEE 5. And with the warranty, it's completely solid. You know that you can take that knife out and do whatever you want to it. Smash it with a hammer, anything you want to do with it. You can destroy it on purpose, and you can send it back to ESEE, and they're going to send you a brand new knife. You don't even have to think about it. That's like in their policy. So $150 for this chubby little chunker of a knife, or you can go spend $150 on a knife that's going to have high quality, high turnaround. It's good. I like it. So yeah, look for those videos coming up. This is why I think you should not buy the BK2. Let me know, like, subscribe, comment on the videos. More will be coming out here shortly, but if there's anything specifically you want to see, just leave it in the comments.